Klingons. Now they're gay.
Attention. Sorry about the audio in this first minute or so. It gets better when the review starts, so hang in there for about a minute.
Welcome to my Star Trek Starfleet Academy review. We're moving on to episode 4, and I have to beam in a special guest. So, hold on one second. Here he is. This is my brother. He's joining from another ship, the USS Chico. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. And he is an ensign, and they haven't gotten their new uniforms. They've gotten their new pit or their new badges, but they have not gotten their new uniforms yet because somebody who works in the lower decks is not ready or whatever.
We're way down the totem pole.
Yeah. So we're still having subspace anomaly problems, so that's why this is happening. But anyway, we both watched Starfleet Academy episode 4, Vox. It's called Vox in Excelsior. And I don't know if you know this. Vox in Excelsior it means voice of reason, I think. But it was actually a papal decree back in the 1100s, something like that, to disband the Knights Templar. So I don't know what it's doing in this episode, especially since the quote that Robert Picardo uses at the beginning is completely botched and out of context and everything. So anyway, right off the top, Ensign Josh, what did you think of the episode, just overall?
Overall, I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. I thought it had an interesting story. I'm not all caught up on all things Star Trek, so I'm kind of coming into this completely blind. But yeah, I didn't think it was an awful episode. Yeah. It was okay.
Yeah, I actually agree. I don't think the episode in total was bad. It's just that it was poorly written, and they kind of made the Klingons just like a complete bastardization of what they used to be. They used to be a proud warrior race, right. And now they are, Jaden himself is basically like a vegetarian because he won't eat things that didn't die in battle. Yeah. You know how like replicated food.
Then he eats the soup at the end.
Well,
so that's okay.
It's because he had earned his right to eat the warrior stew.
But it still wasn't.
But it was still replicated. Yeah, it wasn't even real.
Yeah. So his argument early in the episode doesn't hold water.
No, he ate the replicated, or he wouldn't eat the replicated pig meat, which isn't made out of real meat.
And he ate it like he had never eaten food in his entire life.
Well,
which, I mean, Klingon.
He is pretty skinny, so we never know. So here we are. Here's the episode. It's up here. Here we are in the episode. Look at Star Trek and its 60th anniversary, and look what they're doing to this show. Yes, we have an audio track apparently.
I did like how the episode, like that little opening,
this part
showing all the ships. I thought it was
that
was neat.
So Josh, he's easily entertained by bright, flashy colors. Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to see those ships, but it just sucks that they added in the Discovery, and then the Strange New Worlds version, and then the Athena, which is probably the worst design I've ever seen in a ship. Because this ship, I hate it.
So before we get like this beginning part here, I was super confused. Again, coming from the most Star Trek I know is like, I know Voyager, I know not Generations, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, like those the classic Star Trek. I know those. They all start out with the star date, yada yada yada, and it's the captain talking, doing his captain's log. And this confused me because I thought, oh, she's doing a captain's log, and then it showed her doing the captain's log out loud, and I'm like, what is going on? This is something I've never seen before, and I don't know if I want to ever see this ever again.
Which they do them like that, but usually you'd think that that's like a private thing. But no,
It was just very, and it was very, and then I was like, oh, it's like morning announcements at school.
well, and that's the thing. So Starfleet Academy, like usually you're in your early 20s when you join. You're not like a teenager, but they have like somebody who's like, make sure you go to lunch, and it's Stephen Colbert, which
Yes.
I don't know. I talked about all this in my first episode about how much I hated that kind of stuff. So let's try to focus on just this episode because it's just terrible. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of bad Star Trek, but that's all we're getting. So I'm trying to get to this. So I don't know if you probably don't remember, but Picard gives a speech talking about the censorship of like freedom of speech and the censorship of free speech.
With the first link, the chain is forged. The first speech censored, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, chains us all irrevocably.
Robert Picardo, I don't think it was him necessarily, but it was the way it was edited. That speech, it's word for word, but they chopped it up so much that it doesn't even make sense.
The chain is forged. The first speech censured. The first thought forbidden. Us all irrevocably.
Who said that? And it's like, well, nobody said that necessarily because you botched it completely. And then he likes to get on people and be like, does anybody read? Which is silly because it's like, well, yeah, they're all in Starfleet, but I don't know. It's just silly that the way he says it.
Yeah, I thought that was very
like,
weird.
what does
when I
that
heard
even
it,
mean?
I'm like, that's not even an English sentence.
No. And again, I don't blame Robert Picardo because he's just reading what's been written for him, but it completely botches the speech and changes the meaning. And even so, Vox in Excelso, it's like that has nothing to do with this episode, but whatever. We're getting caught up in the weeds.
I did like seeing him though, seeing the Doctor.
Yeah, he's great
So
as
is he,
the character.
I don't know because again I haven't watched any episode, but this episode.
But
Is he still the hologram, or
yes,
is he
since Voyager, he has gone on to basically
never age?
develop into his own
AI
separate entity thing. He is a holographic, AI essentially, but he's been given rights and privileges within Starfleet, and he is a one of the professors that teaches. But now he's 800 years old.
Right.
Whatever. So, and I think it's funny that in that 800 years, he's like still the exact same person. He doesn't really show any growth or anything. He still just acts like the Doctor, which is fine because we all liked the Doctor.
That's a
but
different show altogether.
well, yeah, that's true. Well, is it though? Because they did, they had like little not crossovers, but like they had the TARDIS hidden on Strange New Worlds several times, and it's
Did they?
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be a cool idea, but you're just ruining both franchises that are already
We are getting
desiccated.
we are getting off track though.
Yeah, I know. So this episode is about Jaden and how he has anxiety when he's talking in front of people. You know how Klingons have social anxiety and get nervous and stuff.
Yeah.
He basically has a panic attack and is all bent over, and he gets all upset and is saved by his buddy Caleb. And Caleb, he's a Gary Stu in this episode because not only can he debate, but he can also hack. He can fly ships.
Oh, really?
He can break out of prison, and yeah, they just keep adding to the things that he can do, and it's super annoying. Well, in the course of him, which this is the part about the food and it's stupid, but within the course of the episode, he finds out from the Captain Mushmouth that they think that his family is all dead. Like the ship that was carrying the last 8 remaining Klingon families crashed somewhere, and they're lost. They think they're all dead. They're probably not all dead, but they think they're dead. So technically, there should be like not that many Klingons left because their planet was essentially destroyed. Klingons are kind of a refugee species now for some reason, because I guess Alex Kurtzman likes to have refugee analogies in his shows. But the captain tells him, and Jaden's like, okay, well, I'll process that later. So everybody's they're treating him with kid gloves this episode because they're afraid to step on his toes, and he's like, no, I am fine, and I will do that.
Which also, can we talk about how his voice is the worst ADR I've
He
ever
is.
heard in my entire
I think.
life?
I think he is the worst ADR.
Well, so I listened to it with headphones on, and like there were moments when the sound was so distorted just with his voice, like you could tell they just like taken his voice and pitch shifted it way down.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was really bad.
And a lot of the stuff that he says is really hard to listen to because not only is his voice modulated, but he kind of has a weird way of talking anyway.
But then when he was with his family, everyone else has like a personality and has a
Yeah, but he's the only one who's like,
I am a robot.
I'm an autistic Klingon, which is really silly. Anyway, so it shows, we get some backstory. He is with his family, his 2 gay dads and his mom, which, okay, fine, whatever. They're making stew, and Jaden likes to watch birds. His brother basically understands him and knows that he's different.
He's not a real Klingon boy.
Yeah, his brother accepts him for who he is. So, but he's afraid to tell his parents that he wants to join Starfleet and blah blah blah. His brother helps him get some Starfleet tech, and basically this thing says, "Oh, come join Starfleet," which really isn't Starfleet tech. It's literally just like an ad.
Yeah.
It's just the thing that says, "Come join Starfleet."
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
But he is so excited to have that Starfleet ball.
That is
in his hand.
that is, well. So this, we get to the part here where Jaden's trying to put together his ball because his dad smashed it. And I know we're kind of skipping ahead, but we'll get back to the other stuff. What happens next here is that this guy, I can't remember his name, doesn't matter.
They basically almost kiss.
Yeah, they basically have like this, not sexually charged moment, but almost like they're definitely touching their areas together for sure. Which I love this. He must not be tall.
Shoes.
He must not be tall enough.
What?
The actor, so they give him like these lifts.
I mean, no, I keep wanting to say Vulcans. The Klingons always had those like thick.
they had
shoe
thick
boots,
boots,
you know.
but they didn't have.
But they do look super goofy.
Yeah, it's
on
like
him.
you couldn't
Yeah.
just like put somebody else's feet there to make it look normal. But no, you had to show his big shoes. Anyway, they have this moment, and
It really
so the
does.
the Kionian boy, I can't remember his name, blue guy, because he's blue under this.
He's blue under it.
Yeah, he looks like Mystique.
But why
Underneath
does
all
he
this.
look like this?
I don't know.
Why doesn't he just be the Mystique color?
I
Like,
don't
isn't
know.
this kind of...
He's very proud of his species, and he speaks in his own language
Yeah.
in this episode. He's never done that before, but he won't just show what he's like proud of his own looks. But
Yeah.
I don't know. They spent all their money on the USAID stuff or something. I don't know, but
Well, they have the one lady who's like the blue lady with... She's like Klingon and...
she's not blue. She's gray.
Is she gray?
She's a Jem'Hadar
Whatever.
from Deep
Dune?
Space Nine.
From Dune?
From Deep Space Nine. What are you talking
Sorry,
about?
Jim Hadar. It just sounds like a Dune word to me.
I guess, but it came out from Star Trek.
Okay,
But
sorry.
anyway, they have this moment, and they're clearly gonna be like lovers later on. And he teaches them this phrase in his own language, and it's stupid. At the same time that all this is happening, Mushmouth and the Admiral
Oh,
are
God.
trying to help the Klingons
This...
get their own planet again. They found basically a Kronos copy in the galaxy in a certain territory, and they know that the Klingons won't just accept it. So they have to force them to take it without forcing them to take it. So this guy, he is a former lover of the captain.
Well,
Somehow,
is
because
he?
that's what they say.
And they kind of... I mean, they hint around, but...
I don't know
It's
how,
like,
because
but they
like
also he's like, oh, you or he left or she left before anything could go down. Is what the way I read it was that like they were gonna
well, no,
hook up and then.
yeah, I don't know
But
actually.
look how flippin' tight she looks like a hobbit next
I
to.
mean, literally, they're standing on the same piece of floor,
It is so bad.
and it gets to the point where he has to sit down, and she's the same height as him sitting down.
Well, he's still taller than her.
Yeah, and he's almost still taller than her. Anyway, they have to give him this planet.
But I've always been of the understanding that Klingons only mated with other Klingons because they are the only other species that can really, well, I guess not the Jim Hadar, whatever they're called.
I don't know. The Jim Hadar were genetically engineered to be only male, and they didn't even have parts.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So anyway, but like the Klingon, the male and female species, it's such a volatile thing to come together, and because it's so not violent, but almost like very brutal, you know, as far as that goes.
Sure.
The Klingon women were the only ones who could like take it.
Yeah, and then
captain.
humans and Klingons have mated together before, but it's like she's so small.
Yeah. And
It'd be like a Mastiff dog and like a tiny Pomeranian. It's like
yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
gonna die,
No,
and it's
that's
not the
gonna-
Mastiff.
That is not going to
So-
work out.
Anyway, Jaden has a talk with his dad, and his dad basically tells him, "No, you need to be a warrior." And then,
I think it was at this point in the show that I noticed that Klingons have a dentist now.
oh yeah,
And they like their teeth are like perfect. Like what is going on?
yeah, look at his pearly
When
whites.
did
right
this
there.
happen?
He
They get braces? He got Klingon braces.
He's got beautiful teeth. Yeah, look at this.
Ooh,
Look at his choppers.
I wish my teeth looked like that. Yeah, weird
Yeah,
to go from, you know, what I remember.
from Worf, who had like, at
Yeah.
least on the top, to
this, which is like, wow, he's been taking care of them pearly whites. Those look good. Good
Yeah.
for him. Good for him. But yeah, no, this whole like, sorry, not to jump ahead.
well, I was going to skip the debate because it doesn't have any
so
bearing on
the
anything.
debate we saw early on in the episode, he gets scared of people in front of them.
Yeah,
But when it comes to talking about his own people, then he has no problem at all. Like, I mean, he gets a little, oh no, you know, at the beginning, but then he like snaps out of it and kind of like is able to talk. I think the ending when he figures out like how to fix all the problems, you know, make sure that his people get a place, and he's like, put me on the podium, and it's like, well, I thought this was a debate. It's not just for you to get on your soapbox and say what you think needs to happen. I mean,
Yeah,
I get it.
but that's what.
I get it from the standpoint of like those are his people and he should be the one speaking for them. But in the context of the show and the story and the whole reason why he had a forum to do that was because of the debate.
Right, but also the debate is silly because he's arguing to let the Klingons choose for themselves,
Right.
which is fine. But the Klingons can't even like find their own planet. They have to be given a planet by
Not even given.
Starfleet.
Tricked into being
yeah, they're
being
tricked
given.
into being given it.
Tricked, but also it's like
It reads like white savior, like a white savior wrote
It
it,
does.
where it's like, oh well, they're not smart enough to find it themselves. You know, they don't know how to go online and get an ID, which has been said about people in the past.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works. A lot of people have smartphones, they might not have data. For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or like they're not informed.
But isn't that racist? Like, how is this more progressive than saying, hey, we will help you find a planet, but they're not even looking for one?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what the Klingons have been doing post the burn. Like, what have they been doing? Why are they wandering the galaxy? Like, and why is there only 8 families left? How many people is that? We never get a clue. But somehow they have all these warships at the end.
but
Which,
I do. Sorry, go ahead.
well, I was going to say, speaking of which, they're tricked into, well, they have this mock fight. And at the end of it,
And
the
I hate this because she's like I'm gonna get ready for this fight, but
Yeah.
she already knows they're gonna lose.
yeah, and this
With
guy,
with no casualties.
he knows they're going to lose too. He's just like, yeah, they'll accept it because I guess they're all stupid. But they get their planet, they take it as spoils of war, and Jaden finally gets to be recognized as a warrior so he can have warrior soup later on.
because a real warrior can do both. He can be a warrior and fight, but also be soft if he needs to be soft.
Yeah, yeah.
and
I guess if that's
I'm like,
what they really want
that's
to put
not,
across.
But that's never been the thing.
No.
But no, I feel like it would have been a better episode if Jaden, because of his want to be in Starfleet, would have been fighting for Starfleet to get involved.
Yeah, you think he
Because he
would want that,
and
yeah.
he is not opposite to everything Klingon, but he's gone opposed his kind of Klingon side to join Starfleet and to do, and maybe like he wants to help his family and wants to do all that, and then find out from the Klingon people, no, we don't want that, and it maybe alienates him even a little bit more
Or
You know.
or they could have done something where he was trying to fight for the Klingons to have a place,
Right.
and he wanted Starfleet to get involved more, and Starfleet wanted to say, well, we can't really help them if they don't want our help.
Right.
So he
Yeah,
would
yeah.
basically be the bridge between his people and Starfleet, like he already is, because he's literally the only Klingon in Starfleet right now.
And let him have that
And
discussion.
let him have that discussion with another Klingon.
Exactly. Have,
But-
but even the main Klingon, the white guy Klingon.
Yeah.
That we've got.
No, but they leave him out of it completely. And it's like, isn't he a grown adult man who can make his own decisions?
Yeah.
But instead, he has to be told by this lady. So she's half Klingon and she's half Jem'Hadar, which shouldn't work anyway, but it does for some reason. She ends up telling him, well, here's what I think. I think, because his parents left him alone on a planet and he ended up joining Starfleet, and he never understands why. She tells him, well, I think your parents left you because they knew that you had already bested them as a warrior in your arguments, and I think he was teaching you that you're ready to do what you want to do and that you are a warrior. Basically that's what I think. And he's just like, yes, that is probably what he meant. And that just becomes what he believes. But he had to have a woman tell him that his whole goal in life was validated by his parents, who he never saw again after they left him and actually ostracized him. So she invents this scenario to prove to him that he's worth it. And it's like, that's a lie. What happened to all the empathy and stuff that was being talked about in the previous episode? Oh, no, we passed that. The writers don't remember what they wrote.
Yeah. No, I think it would have been better for his character for him to be full in on Starfleet helping and fighting with Starfleet that, well, you're not doing anything to help my people. And then to him, then they're like, well, if that's how you feel, then you need to talk to the other Klingons, because that's what we want to do, but we can't. Our hands are tied.
Our hands are tied.
And so he goes to be kind of the mediator between the two and tries to talk to them, and even the Klingons are like, no, we don't want your help. Let us...
Yeah.
And it could have even ended the same way with the mock fight. Like, he figures out, like, oh, they want a fight. They want to fight for this planet. They want, because they're warriors, that's what they need, and he learns more to be more like a Klingon from that experience instead of, well, you have to have yin and yang kind of thing.
That's a face.
Yes, it is a face.
That's a face. Something else that kind of kills me about this episode is that while they're doing these mock debates or whatever, the holographic girl.
There's a girl that's hologram?
Oh, you didn't know that the
No,
little
what?
ugly black girl she's a hologram.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her name's Sam.
And she's like so excited for,
Yeah, she's the autistic. Literally, she's the autistic hologram.
because she was like super excited, and I was like, why is she so excited about him being on stage? Like,
Yeah, he's
a robot.
She's
Like, this girl.
Yeah, she's insufferable.
The Minnie Mouse.
I can't
The Minnie Mouse ears.
get a good enough. Well, there's the title screen.
Yay.
What I was gonna say about her though is that one thing that kills me. I'm just gonna leave it on this. Something that kills me.
This should have been your thumbnail.
Something that kills me about her is that she calls the Khitomer Accords the Khitomer Accords, and it's completely the wrong way to say it. Just like how this whole episode they say Kalesh instead of Kalis, because Kalis, he's basically like the Jesus of Klingons, and his name is Kalis. It's always been Kalis. For hundreds of years in Starfleet, it's been Kalis. And for some reason, they call him Kalesh the whole time. And they also call it Konosh. It's just anything with two S's, they put a sh on it. And it's very stupid. And I feel like this guy's face. So.
Yeah. No, I think overall it's not a bad episode. Like, we are nitpicking this thing to death.
It's not a
But
good episode, though.
It's not. No, it's not. There are four lights or whatever. You know, it's not nothing, and I don't think anything is ever going to be that good. Even like, I'm not a huge fan. I didn't get all the way through Deep Space Nine, but there were episodes that were like really, really good, and it has a huge following. I know. Overall, I think this episode is okay. Like, we are nitpicking it to death, but I think especially for me as a casual viewer, like, I don't know all of the lore, all the history. Like, I've watched this, the older stuff, but just coming into this completely blind, I was like, oh, it was okay. It was, it's another like Star Wars kind of show, you know, like they're trying to go off the heels of something like that and try to make it more sci-fi, but it was its own thing already. It didn't need that.
Yeah.
But I think for people who are more hardcore Star Trek fans and they know all the things, these little things start to build up and add up and make it not worth watching.
Yeah.
Also, I wish they would just turn on some lights in the.
It is very dark. It sucks.
Like
I
we're
hate
in
it so
we're
much.
what, they're in the 20th century. I don't know what century
This
they're
is
in.
the 32nd
32nd century, and they don't have LEDs. Like what's going on? Like turn on some lights.
Nope. I agree pretty much. I don't think this is the worst episode of Starfleet Academy. It is number 4, and I would rank it probably second best, maybe. All the other ones have been pretty dumb. But I will say this one did pretty much the most damage to the lore. And that's kind of saying a lot, because most of Kurtzman Trek just takes the lore and just rips it apart and tries to destroy it. So there's really not a whole lot left to talk about this episode, because
They bond.
everybody ends up happy. Everybody ends up where they want to be, and he gets his disgusting sloppy stew
that he wouldn't eat before, and he wouldn't eat anything else because it wasn't a real thought. You know, it wasn't cotton in battle. And then he eats the stew that also was not made, you know, found in battle.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our review of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end here, I appreciate you sticking around. At the end of every episode, I always say, live long and kapla. Just scoot in. I can cut all this
I
stuff.
know, but I want it to be left uncut. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm probably going to be giggly.
It's okay.
Jiggly.
I just gotta let it refocus on my face, and you do look a little, or just a little, like, drowned. It's okay.
You're still phasing in and out of reality.
Should actually, I could just do this instead of now we're okay.
I'm the Riker of my...
That's the camera.
I'm the
so-
Riker of my...
Okay, get ready for it. Ready, 1, 2, and you know what? I'm gonna try some. Does the light make us? No. So my subspace light doesn't help. Trying to keep things in context. I'm leaning over so I'm not in your.
No, you're fine.
But you can use. I mean, we are brothers.
Yeah.
We debated doing like a mirror universe, Lee, and Josh. You know, like he was the mirror universe of me, but I think we look too dissimilar for that to even work. But anyway, this episode is basically about Jaden. Yeah, don't worry about it.
No, that one image was just...
Sorry, I'm getting a message from our super awesome person here. Just push a little bit. There you go.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. You don't want to ruin this.
Thank you. We got a special message because that was very nice. Thank you. Anyway, this guy, don't jump in my bed.
You know.
Peering into the void.
So for them to imply that that's really bad.
Yeah.
Can we edit that out?
Yeah. Okay. Try again.
From where? The start?
I think what you said was fine. I can edit it.
Not.
I'll edit
but
around
to
it.
the. That's like.
Wow! Look at those chompers. Sorry.
But yeah, it's.
She calls them the Kitomer.
What?
I messed that up. So
I do a better Klingon voice than he
yeah,
can.
exactly. He does.
And
So
I've got a raspy, girly voice.
girly.
You know what you need to do in this show? You need to do like how many tricorders out of 5 or whatever the episode.
I don't like
you don't like doing
that.
those?
No,
Okay.
that would just be more like on-screen stuff that I'd have to do. It's just, I keep it simple. And like I always say at the end of every episode, live long and kapla. You can say whatever you want to. Actually, let's do it in unison. We'll say live long and kapla.
Okay.
That was
Super
good.
corny.
It was super corny, red daggedy, but